Dang, that he's descriptive. That was very descriptive. That was hard to hear. That was hard to hear and then hard to watch along with the visuals. Wow. Hey, what's up all you metalheads out there? I am back with another reaction video, and today we are going to be doing Sabaton's nuclear attack history video. First of all, thank you to all my Patreon supporters out there. All of you guys are helping me support my channel. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to help support my channel, link is down below, but I don't talk too much about it because I think it's cringy. Anyways, we are going to be doing Sabaton history video number 74, baby. Now, I'm not sure how much I'm actually gonna write down this session, because I already told you guys it really sticks in my mind when I write things down. I'm not gonna like be all cocky and say I'm an expert on the atomic bombings or how the atomic bomb was created, but a lot of this is just rehashing information, because the one thing I do love about history, well, not love it, but the one topic that I do like cover a lot when I'm watching like history videos on YouTube before I go to sleep or something like that, or on my days off and I have it in the background, is stuff regarding World War II. It's just fascinating to me how one man, Hitler, can convince masses to just disregard a whole group of people. But anyways, even though this video is not going to be about that, it's going to be about the nuclear bombs, which is also, you know, tied into World War II. So I do know a fair bit about it. I don't know how much I have to write down, but anyways, and also I'm not going to be doing like I think I said last time, I'm going to ask you guys some quiz questions. Why? That's like the student asking the professor, like, oh, do you know this answer to this or answer to that? Y'all know, and even if y'all don't know, who's to say you're gonna answer like honestly in the comment section? Who wants to look like a fool in the comment section? Not I. So I probably won't ask no questions. I don't know how much I'm gonna write down, but we're gonna give this bad boy a go. Nuclear attack, atomic bombings, history video number 74. History is back in session, baby. Let's hop right on in.
There are a handful of moments in human history when our world is very much a world before and a world after.
And especially in this one, nuclear attack.
Prepare for nuclear attack!
Oh, this part, I really want to know what they're going to cover about, what they say, heed the warning, or no, heard the warning but did not heed the warning. What was it? Okay.
April 1945. Mere hours after Harry Truman is sworn in as American president after the death of Franklin Roosevelt, he is led to a meeting with Secretary of War Henry Louis Stimson. Stimson tells the new president about the real purpose of the secret Manhattan Project, laying out exactly what the teams of the nation's top physicists and engineers have been working on for so long. Using electromagnetic separation, they have learned that a fast chain reaction can release an incredible amount of energy, harness.
I like watching these little A is for Atom, like these little old style videos, just to see what America propped up. You know, what kind of propaganda do we have? This looks like a basic cartoon, so I don't know if this was taught in school or this is just the government's way of dumbing it down to like people in government, you know? But I do like to write these down because that way later on I could like go back and watch it by myself.
Harnessing the power of the atom. They have turned that concept,
probably not propaganda, but just, you know, their dumbing it down version of what an atomic bomb was at that time,
into a weapon of destructive power never before created in the history of mankind. From an outside view, the Second World War is wrapping up. Germany's done for, and Japan's surrender seems perhaps only a few months away. However, the alliance between the Western Allies and the Soviet Union is more fragile than ever.
Did Japan look like they're about to surrender though? I mean, give it to them. I know they're a small country compared to the Allies. Their numbers were probably a lot more limited than the Allies. But these guys, Japan was willing to fight tooth and nail to the death. They had kamikaze bombers, you know, people were just killing themselves for their country. I don't know, or maybe it did look like it was about to be a downfall. Maybe they just considered numbers wise, but Japan did not look like it was going to give up without a fight. So I don't know how much like it looked like just a few months away that they're going to give up. I don't know.
However, the alliance between the Western Allies and the Soviet Union is more fragile than ever. With the Red Army marching into Poland, Hungary, and Romania, President Truman watches with worry as the Soviets tighten their grip on half of Europe. The U.S. administration is strictly opposed to the autocratic Soviet system of state control and secret police.
I would like to know more about Polish's history. Here they are pinned between Germany and Russia, small country, and they're able to fend off for themselves quite like very, very well. You know, I think I said in my own in another video that I just thought Poland just got steamrolled. I mean, in a sense they did, but they really held their own considering the numbers. And I wonder how Poland fell and all those other countries. I wonder how they fell after Germany didn't turn on how they felt about Russia attacking Germany and now kind of be seen as the good guys fighting on the behalf of the Axis powers. Not the Axis powers, the Allies, just because Germany attacked them. So now here's Russia looking like, you know, the white mushroom being the savior and helping out the Allies only because they were attacked first. I wonder how Poland felt. It's like, yo, these guys, did you see what they did to us? Like, and now you guys are just like forgive and forget, you know? Like he said, that of course we're not friends with Russia, but they did help. So I know we're not seeing them as like number one threat. Let's attack them, you know? I really want to do some more background on Poland.
Worry as the Soviets tightened their grip on half of Europe. The U.S. administration is strictly opposed to the autocratic Soviet system of state control and secret police, but they still may need Soviet help to bring the war against Japan to a quick conclusion. It has become a political...
See, I wonder what those other countries felt, the ones that Russia attacked. Like, now we need their help. Now the Allies need their help. How they feel? It's like, no, don't take their help. They're the next target after Germany falls, and then after Japan falls, aim at Russia. Look what they did to us. Aim at Russia.
Poker game between the two power blocks, and each asset a card that is thrown onto the table. But now, with the atomic bomb becoming a reality, the U.S. finds itself with an ace up its sleeve and a means to dictate terms to the post-war world. By the time of the
Whoever's got the bigger stick creates the rules.
Potsdam Conference in mid-July, the final experiments,
Thumbnail
codenamed
action.
Trinity, have proven that the atomic bomb truly works. But while the Truman administration sends its congratulations, more and more scientists within the Manhattan Project voice their concerns about the correct use of the bomb's unprecedented killing power. Prominent physicist Leo Szilard is the loudest advocate for a careful approach. He emphasizes that war has to be restrained within the bounds of common humanity. Why not keep the weapon, but not use it? The war will be over soon, maybe 6 more months. A naval blockade will be surely enough to starve the Japanese into surrender. Japan has no allies left, no surface navy or air force, while the US has inexhaustible resources.
Real quick, that's really interesting how the creator, or one of the creators of the atomic bomb, who worked on the Manhattan Project, actually voiced concerns to not use what they just created. Very interesting, you know? The creator regretting its creation. And of course, like he's falling on deaf ears, like the war generals and all of them, they just see a weapon to like end the war. Whereas he sees is like, yo, I've seen the results of this destructive weapon. Don't use it. Very interesting, the dynamic between the creation, and the people that want to use the creation.
By unleashing the atomic bomb, Szilard argues, the U.S. will not only lose its moral superiority, but also its industrial advantage. The biggest strength of the American military is that its heavy armament industry can outproduce everyone else on the planet. But an atomic arms race will void this advantage. For now, the US has the monopoly, but it will not keep it forever. How long will the Soviet Union need to build atomics from scratch? 10 years? Maybe 5 if they make use of captured German scientists or spies within the US. What would the world become if those fundamentally opposed systems ever made use of the bomb? On the other side stands the US military, which argues that having such a bomb and not using it is unjustifiable to the American people. The invasion of Okinawa cost over 12,000 American soldiers their lives. How many more would die in an invasion of the Japanese mainland? Against an enemy that says it will arm its people even with bamboo sticks to avoid unconditional surrender.
That's what I'm saying, man. The fight in the dog from Japan was rough. Like, they were willing to fight tooth and nail to the bone. They were not going to give up without a fight. But at the same time, see, that's the argument. You have the moral argument versus the justifiable argument. Morally, you should not just drop a bomb and nuke like half of like a country. But at the same time, strategically, militarily, do you really want to sacrifice your own men when you can have a weapon do all of it for you? with just the drop of a bomb. I mean, it's like I said, it's easy to say all this in hindsight. So I really would not be one of those people in the room making such a decision. That would haunt me till the day I die, no matter what I chose. If I chose not to drop it and sacrifice American lives, and people like saw me in a certain light, like, oh, I was willing to sacrifice our own men, versus dropping a bomb and just instantly vaporizing tons of citizens. That's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
For many in the military, total war justifies total death. How many millions had already died man-made deaths in World War II? The U.S. Air Force had turned Hamburg and Dresden to burning ruins and had killed 100,000 people in Tokyo. Ultimately, the bomb is not much different in what it would achieve, they argue, but instead would save a great many American lives. The bomb itself has to be the message: unconditional surrender or total destruction.
I mean, well, if it's the force that you want to show off, couldn't you like drop this somewhere further off the coast, and maybe they would have saw it, and also like the shockwaves of it would have like definitely destroyed some of the land, but not nearly as much. And you can still show a force, you can still show what you're capable of without actually dealing damage. You know, it's like whipping out a gun and shooting it in the air and seeing its destructive power without actually whipping it out and shooting a bunch of people. Kind of, you know? If that was the target of just showing you, like showing the country what America was made of, what the bombs, what we were capable of, what the weapons were created, do we really have to drop it dead center in a city? You know? 2 cities?
The target committee is set up to list possible Japanese cities. The chosen city has to be well within the range of the B-29 Super Fortress bombers, which must be extra modified to carry such a unique, single, large bomb. To accurately study the effects of the explosion, the target must be untouched by previous bombing raids. Only then can the damage and the power of the bomb be accurately determined. The target should be military in nature, a city that has at least a large troop concentration, stores military equipment, or houses important headquarters.
Justifications.
Eventually, the choice comes down to 2 cities. The first is Kyoto, the ancient capital of Japan. Not only does it have a large industrial area, it's also the intellectual center of Japan. Destroying it would have a large psychological effect on Japanese society. The other city is Hiroshima. It has an important army embarkation port and a huge urban area. Additionally, the surrounding heights there would add a focusing effect to the blast damage.
Doesn't a huge urban area mean heavily populated by citizens? Wasn't the justification of Kyoto was to like destroy the military complex instead, and they're debating military or like dense citizens, and they chose the dense citizens?
Harry Stimson is appalled by the coldness of the calculations, and he personally forbids the destruction of Kyoto. If they have to kill a whole lot of people, then at least they can spare their history and culture. Hiroshima is top of the list. So they calculate the correct height of...
I mean, it is the most ancient city, but like, what's the point of saving the culture if you wipe out most of the people who are actually appreciating and practicing said culture? I don't know, like I said, it's easy for me to criticize in hindsight.
The detonation, the radiological effects, and the predicted expenditure of the bomb's energy. The first bomb, Little Boy, is expected to have the same impact of an amount between 5 and 20,000 tons of TNT. The Trinity testing has proven that their theories work. But there is still a lot of speculation. Would a chain reaction maybe set the whole atmosphere of the Earth on fire? Who really knew? The men on board the designated B-29, nicknamed Enola Gay after the pilot's mother, know little of all those discussions and speculations. On the night of August 6th, they load the 9,000...
If they knew little, I wonder how much they're gonna drop this atomic bomb that's never been dropped before. What extensive, like, the destruction did the crew actually know it's gonna cause?
700-pound armored cylinder into the compartment of the bomber and take off towards Hiroshima. At 3 a.m., the weaponeers begin readying the bomb, preparing its triple fusing system. 6, they approach Iwo Jima and are joined by other planes that will observe and photograph the results. At 7:30, as they climb to the bombing altitude, the internal batteries of Little Boy are activated. The weather reports are favorable. The crew of the Enola Gay put on their flak suits and anti-glare goggles and prepare for the countdown. At 8:15 a.m., the bomb bay opens and the bomb drops. As Little Boy falls to Earth, the arming wires are removed, starting its internal clocks. As the bomber banks away, the bomb's radar activates, sending signals towards the ground. At the predetermined altitude, an electrical signal reaches the fusing system, closing the circuit. 43 seconds after Little Boy leaves the Enola Gay, a bright light fills the plane and the first shockwave violently shakes it. Behind them, Hiroshima vanishes in a boiling mushroom cloud.
August in black, B-29 starting back, prepare for nuclear attack. Warned but did not heed.
Warned but did not heed. So he said once the bomb was dropped, mechanisms were activated because it was a three-part like concoction of how it was activated. He said the radar was activated and sent signals to the ground. Was that the warned but did not heed? Because like you said, from the bomb being let go to it being blown up was only 43 seconds. So that's not much of a warning. Unless that's not the warning I'm trying to figure out what this line's talking about.
Prepare for nuclear attack.
The people of Hiroshima have begun their day like any other in those troubled times. The morning is mostly quiet until the air sirens begin and people look to the sky searching for incoming planes. The evacuation program has reduced the city's inhabitants to around 245,000 people, and almost no one that is lucky enough to survive the day remembers hearing the sound of the bomb's explosion. For them, it is a noiseless flash followed by a wave of unimaginable heat. Everything close to the explosion is immediately obliterated as the pressure wave advances at 2 miles per second. Most homes in Japan are made out of wooden frames and wooden walls, which instantly collapse or
That was an instant annihilation.
burn as the released thermal energy engulfs everything in a blue-green fireball. Those further away who watch the bomb explode are immediately blinded by the flash. Survivors soon wander the streets, escaping the fires of their homes. Their clothes are torn to rags, their swollen faces blistered, their skin, black from third-degree burns, peels off their bodies. Like sleepwalkers, they wander through the smoldering ruins that were their city moments before. The child making a suffering groaning sound, his burned face swollen up, balloon-like and jerking as he wanders among the fires. The old man, the skin of his face and body peeling off like a potato skin, mumbling prayers while he flees with faltering steps. Another man pressing with both hands the wound from which blood is steadily dripping, rushing around as though he's gone mad and calling the names of his wife and child. My hair seems to stand on end just to remember. This is the way war really looks.
Unnamed 5th grade boy quoted the making of the atomic bomb. Unnamed 5th grade boy. He's descriptive. That was very descriptive. That was hard to hear. That was hard to hear and then hard to watch along with the visuals. Wow.
140,000 people die in the immediate explosion of the bomb. Thousands more will soon die of their wounds, but even those who survive the initial bomb cannot escape the radiation. Those exposed to the direct gamma radiation are slowly dying already, suffering for years. After 5 years, the number of dead rises to 200,000. But despite the nightmarish reports, the war is still not over. And Fat Man, the implosion bomb, is being readied. A new target is at the top of the list. This time it is the city of Nagasaki, and another B-29 bomber soon takes off. 70,000 will die this time, and Japan will finally surrender. The atomic age has begun. Scientists are already working on improved implosion systems and the potential of thermonuclear fission that could unleash the equivalent of over 100 million tons of TNT, dwarfing Little Boy and Fat Man by far. The Second World War is over, but the world has entered an era potentially far more frightening.
Nuclear attack. Warned but did not heed. The powerful nuclear attack.
Is he not gonna explain that, or was I right earlier about how when the bomb was dropped, the radar kicked off and said signals? Was that the warning? That 43-second warning? Is he gonna talk about what that line is?
Extermination. Strike back.
So, this is a obviously very heavy subject matter.
Yep.
Is it something that you thought about first and said we should write a song about this, or how did the song evolve? Was it music first, lyrics first, or?
I think he said before that the music always comes first and then the lyrics, which makes sense because the music, like I said, it puts you in a mood, gets you deep thinking. Once you hear a beat, sometimes the words just write themselves, whereas vice versa, you write lyrics, you don't know what kind of music you want to add to it. So, I mean, he's probably going to say music first, lyrics second, because I think that's what he mentioned in another video.
The music we had first, and actually the first time we played this live was back, 2000, I don't remember, a long time ago.
I don't remember.
And the lyrics weren't finished.
Just the way he said it.
We had some of it, and bit of a weird history with that
Well,
one.
what did you do if you didn't have the full lyrics? You're the singer.
Oh, we had the
Idea.
the chorus, which has harmonies in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was written, and some other parts, but I just pretended and went in the verses when we
Specifically.
which now in retrospect feels less than honorary given the subject.
Okay, but you're chroniclers, you're not opinioners.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just one of the few times in history where we didn't do it properly. We should have finished the song and stuff like that. No, not only regarding to history, but regarding to the fans who were there at the time. Given, sure, there weren't that many at that time. But
Now, how often has this song been in your live repertoire?
Not that much at all, actually. I mean, this one came out on the Terror Dominatus album. We did the first, Nightliner European tour with Edguy and Dragon Force in early 2006. So we had just actually, funnily enough, we had to accelerate the recording. We did the recording and mixing and mastering of that album in like 3 weeks. So, I mean, it was tumultuous times, and when we got out on tour, that album hadn't been released. After a while, we're going in and doing The Art of War, and had a lot of songs that became very popular.
Sure.
So by that time, I think already by the next album rotation, unfortunately, Nuclear Attack got
Well, this leads to an interesting question, because at this point you have dozens and dozens of songs, and you write, you'll release another dozen every 2 years or whatever, something like that. And of course, with a new tour, the Great Tour, for example, you want to play a lot of the songs from the new albums. Do you really miss playing a lot of the older ones sometimes? Do you get to throw them in often enough and mix it up?
That's pretty interesting. See, this is why I like to listen to the little parts of about the song after the history video, because I also get little nuggets of facts as well. So that's also an interesting question. Once you drop a new album, of course, when you do shows, you're going to have a lot of songs featuring that new album. But how do you know which songs to pick from your past songs? You pick a song that you haven't sang in a while? Do you pick fan favorites? Okay.
It's different. Some of them it's truly good to be rid of them. Some of them I really miss.
Name one.
Ooh, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
Every time we do a set list for a tour, this is a kind of a, what do you call it, common question among fans, and it's really tricky for us because people are in general appreciating the era of a band, not only us, where they discovered the band.
Of course.
So we try to, sometimes we reactivate an old song, like we did with a song called 7734. We did it now with Angels Calling. So we're constantly looking for ways to sneak in a few, gems.
One thing I really, really liked on the Sabaton cruise last December was the two shows. You do two shows, and you play different songs.
Yeah, but it's also during those shows, because if you catch us, for example, at a festival, there's going to be a good chance for us to get new fans. So what we want to do is play a bit of more of a party set, a bit of more of a greatest hits. try to get some new fans in there.
I think you should just play Resist and Bite like 20 minutes.
Would only work in Belgium.
Sorry, but I love that song. That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my
Okay.
favorite. And actually, it never was, but it was when you guys played it live on the Sabaton cruise.
Okay.
And I was like, I never understood that song until I heard it live. And
it's weird. I mean, some songs turn into something.
I'd like to hear that his new, but that's on Heroes. That's album 7, Resist and Bite. Holy moly, I got quite a ways to go, don't I?
Different live.
Yeah. To
And
me, that
Nuclear
was
Attack, I would
Resist
say, is one of those songs.
Okay.
It actually works amazing live. I really love performing it.
Well, maybe in the next couple
Should have watched it live. Yeah, drat.
years when you're allowed to play shows again, you can bring back Nuclear Attack one day.
As soon as this lockdown is over.
Well, hopefully it'll be over by Sabaton cruise time. Because then they'll play Resist and Bite and Nuclear Attack, but on 2 different nights. So that
Thanks for making promises, man.
I'm not promising. I'm not in the band. I can say what I like. I can say the first night they're going to play this and this and this, and the editors can go, no. You're adding buzzes, aren't you? Oh, and of course, the 90s R&B favorites.
Yeah, but they're always going to be there.
Well, that's the second day.
I know you guys told me that's like a run-on joke because he kept saying that he's gonna do like a R&B album, but he jokes about it.
The second day of the Sabaton cruise.
Yeah, we should have you perform that.
We should. Actually, we should have me on the next Sabaton cruise. I'm just throwing this out.
Okay.
And you can't say yes or no when the camera's running. You can decide afterwards if he does it. Okay. It's probably going to be no. Right? but you can't say, okay. Okay. The second day of the Sabaton cruise, right? We should have me in the piano bar with the grand piano.
Liking it so far?
Yep. Playing Sabaton songs, right? Mm-hmm. But as 90s R&B songs.
I love it. Honestly,
Yeah?
let us know if you want that. I would.
Come on, that'd be
no,
fun,
no matter
right?
how you want to play them in a piano bar.
Yeah.
Sing along. We can have people around.
I'm a really good piano player. Trust me on this. So it'll be okay.
What do you think?
Cool. All right,
Let's do
deal.
it.
A deal.
A deal.
All right, I got it. Oh,
Never
don't shake
happened.
hands, by the way. Corona.
Oh yeah, right.
I've already had it.
You already had it. Yes.
So-
I haven't.
Can we zoom in on that? Just zoom
That silence, just I haven't.
in on that, and just have things saying, "See you next time on Sabaton History." I think that's a good ending.
A nuclear attack!
All right, everyone. You know the drill. You click.
Okay, well, yeah, like I kind of foresaw, I didn't have to write a whole lot down. Actually, I only wrote like 2 things down. Actually, one I want to do. Actually, somebody had requested a history video. I think about current Polish tactics, about how they are like trained to like fight in the snow. I want to do some more Polish history because they do have a lot of David versus Goliath type of battles. A lot of 300 outnumbered battles, you know, so I really want to do that. So a couple of things I did right is I wonder how Polish felt after Germany attacked Russia. Russia pretty much turned and started helping the Allies. Wonder how those little other countries felt. Czechoslovakia, or I think it said Czechoslovakia, right? And Poland. I wonder how those countries felt knowing that these guys that helped Germany beat you down are now like kind of seen as allies-ish, you know? And the other thing I wrote was very, very interesting that the creator, or one of the creators, or at least one of the people that worked on the Manhattan Project, Leo Zillard, I know I butchered that one, how he kind of like warned everybody about what he created and kind of told them not to use it because he knew what it could do. But of course, like I said, the generals, they didn't care. They just saw that they just inherited a bigger stick and they wanted to swing away. So that was really interesting. Those are the 2 things I wrote down. I really didn't write down much at all. Like I said, maybe the next video as well, Hitler's rise to power. I probably won't write down a whole lot because, like I said, it's a lot of just rehashing of old information. I just really like the World War II because it's just really it's dumbfounding how people could just turn on other groups of people like in like years, in the span of like 10, 15 years. Just to find a scapegoat, you know, of like everything that they went through and stuff. Oh my god, that was a bad. Ooh, that one got me, man. That quote, or that, what was it? Unnamed 5th grade boy quoted in Richard Rhodes, The Making of the Atomic Bomb. Man, I thought the way they were talking, 5th grade, the way that was written, I thought that was an adult. Oh, yeah, name a fifth grade right now, at least in America, who can freaking be descriptive like that. All they, yeah, man, doesn't even matter. Has nothing to do with nothing. But I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I certainly enjoyed the video. Always love watching history videos. Never get tired of them. Never fails to listen to Indy talk about history, because I just love how he just has it. He has a certain, like, je ne sais quoi. I don't know. He has a certain way of telling the history where it generally seems like he's like not excited to talk about it, but he has a genuine interest in letting us know, like a history teacher. He should be a history teacher, man. I'm telling you, they should write a little mini series teaching the youth. The songs, the videos, they hit, but I'm pretty sure they can make like a docu-series or something. Anyways, I'm gonna stop ranting because this is a history video. Probably gonna be long. Not a lot of people watch it, but I'm glad you guys stuck around. If you guys still stuck around to listen to this, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And I really do appreciate all my clouds out there, all my Patreon fans. I love every single one of you guys. Take care, stay safe, stay blessed. Have a good night. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.